You're going to capture more crises with your peripheral vision a lot of the times than you will with direct. So you can actually practice that skill with identifying things that are happening in the room. Like right now I see Pierre on his phone. He's not being very attentive, but that's okay. That's okay. You know, I don't have to look at him, yeah.
Like that preventative type stuff, down from like knowing like precursors and triggers, but even if you're not as familiar with the learner, just little things like, okay, this guy's physically aggressive, always having him walk in front of me is like bigger than anything else, because at least if something happens, if you're not getting blindsided from behind, you're ready, you can do some sort of crisis intervention. It kind of reminds me like a personal story. There was a relative of mine, she actually did like one-on-one like ComHab type work. And the learner was a little older, maybe like 15, 16 years old, but he was like a big guy, like 6'4", like, and this particular person was just like a regular sized girl. And I told her, I was like, you know, I'm not really comfortable with you working him in the first place. She's like, oh, but he hasn't been aggressive in years. Like he was aggressive, like, I think it was like 5+ years ago. I said, well, you know, still not comfortable with you working with him, like someone like very close to me. But, you know, I tried telling her, like, do, you know, some proactive stuff, like always keep him in front of you, always look out for things. And for the most part, like, she always did. But that one time, he was behind her, and she was, like, clocked him in the head, this big dude. You know, luckily, it was just, like, the one hit, and that was it. But at least, you know, you'd be ready for it. Maybe you could dodge it, like, run out of the room or something. You know, like, even kids that elope, like, you walk them down the street. I was taught from day one, working with kids, like, out in the community, like, they stay on the inside of you when you're walking on the sidewalk. No matter what, if the kid has a history of elopement or not, they stay. And like it's just now it's just second nature. I'm walking with a kid with a disability on the sidewalk. He always goes on my left. The street's on my right. And
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Someone said that you never should end a session on a bad note, and that's something I always carried with me. Even
I love that.
Even in home cases, like if I was supposed to leave at 7 and I'm in a in a crisis situation, I will stay till 9, and I have, just to make sure that we end on that positive note, to be like, we're good, and then leave.
I love that. I mean, it's a good practice for a lot of different things. I mean, athletes do the same thing when it comes to practice. I mean, they're not gonna. I mean, my daughter had this like really jacked up, like messed up coach, and he actually would. Like he would put them through a lot of painful things emotionally and physically and hurt them, and then right when they were like crying or upset, he'd be like, oh, go sit down. And then he started shaping up. They're crying and then they started faking it just to get out of it. That's how bad of a, like he didn't understand the behavioral consequences of being, first of all, being a and then like abusive, and then waiting until they had it, like they were crying, and then he would yell at them, have them go sit down, which they would escape. Other girls were like getting injured, and I don't know that they were always really injured. They were just tired of him being nasty. But with wrestling, I would never end, the sports psychologists that were world-class sports psychologists, they wouldn't let us end the practice until we drilled the move perfectly. And I don't know if all athletes were that way, but it was, I mean, West Virginia University, a guy named, it was Dr. Ed Etzel, the psychologist. I mean, this guy's produced more world champions from the riflery team and the football team that go pro than any other psychologist around. His name was Dr. Ed Etzel, and that was one of his things. He's like, finish it strong. And anyway, I'm going all over, but I really think there's something to that. And you, not only did you kind of like face your fears, that individual or that learner, next time he saw you, he wasn't like, oh, I got the best of her.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I don't know if I want to do that again because she's back.